God bless you, beloved souls. I come once again to deliver a message of importance for humanity. I wish to discuss the subject of how to neutralize and combat the human condition upon your earth plane, how you may bring greater light into your own personal lives, and through your own discipline and understanding of the laws of attraction, come to insulate yourselves from the overwhelming conditions that come with humanity's influence upon your earth plane. The human condition is an amalgam of many forces and expressions of humanity upon this earth, whether that be the cumulative results of human thought which is generated 1,000,000 times over every minute of every day, or the actions of humanity that create disharmony in the world, plus those emotions generated by each individual which are born out of fear, confusion, anger. All aspects that are a reflection of the mind seeking control and reacting to conditions which countervail the desire for control within the individual. So these many elements come together, creating an atmosphere around your earth plane that continually reinforces the thought patterns, the behaviors, the expressions of each individual upon this planet. Thus, no soul escapes these conditions or this influence. Whether they are aware or not of these conditions, they are present in your world. It is an unfortunate fact but a truth that at this time the predominant influence of spirits on your world is that of the darker influences and those influences that are somewhat of light but not pure in their character and condition. This too influences humanity to a great extent. For the vast majority of individuals upon this earth plane, there is great ignorance and a lack of understanding of these forces of spirit influence combined with the forces of human influence. A powerful current passes through all of humanity, continually reinforcing a condition that is not of light but of darkness. Though many may feel through their day glimpses of joy and light, it is because of the great power of their own souls and desire to bring love into the world that this indeed counteracts the predominant condition. So I come to a key message and teaching about how one may bring greater light to the world. It starts with the individual and their choice of thought and expression. It requires that they consciously become aware of their mindful and emotional responses to whatever event is taking place with each moment of their lives. Many respond reflexively to whatever event may take place. Many also respond reflexively with thoughts that come forth within their conscious self, motivating them to act in accordance with that thought and desire. Humanity lives upon the surface of their consciousness, not truly taking into consideration the consequences of their actions or their thoughts, but merely responding reflexively and habitually to the stimulus that is presented to them. Many of these responses are the result of an ingrained sense of fear, a desire to be a part of the flow of humanity, so that they are accepted within the body of the particular culture or set of human thought and perspective which comes with that culture. As humanity continues to engage with a great many avenues of stimulation and information that comes to them, so this reflective and immediate response of the mind and the body comes forward immediately. The immediacy of these responses often does not reflect a deeper, more spiritual perspective that may come from the individual. Rather, these deeper inclinations are ignored and their responses are of a superficial nature. So, the flow of humanity continues to be reinforced moment by waves of immediate thought, emotion and response governed mostly by superficial impulses, fearful motivations, and ill-informed concepts and ideas, which are passed on as powerful waves and forces through your elements of communication in your modern world. So there is no time for contemplation. There is no time to think deeply about a matter, an issue, an idea that may arise in one's daily life. Rather, with this immediacy of thought, there comes often an accumulation of distorted information which leads to distorted thinking within the individual. As these distortions grow and accumulate and are reinforced daily through the interactions of humanity, so the error grows. The distortions become powerful influences upon the individual. Much unfolds in response to these ideas and conditions. This is not to say that everything that is transferred from one to another is of error. But indeed, those deeper things of truth and love, harmony and peace are often trampled by thoughts and reactions which convey judgment and anger and condemnation of the ills of this world. Few have time to go to God. Few have time to truly think about their own views of the world, their perspective and understanding of the flow of their life. Rather, life is becoming a moment-by-moment affair, reinforced continually by your media, by those sources of information that are so prevalent now. In my day, when I walked the earth, no such things existed. We had much time to contemplate, even to pray. We considered our actions toward one another in our Jewish faith. There were many creeds and ideas reflecting modes of interaction and morals, but these things do not hold sway for many in your world these days. This is a great problem, and it is indeed a sad state of affairs. It appears that the greatest motivation for humanity at this time is the accumulation of wealth, of material objects, of being safe and insulated from those dangers and possible pitfalls of your world. Many are motivated by fear and to have control of their lives. Some indeed have insulated themselves well from the intransigence of the human condition. Yet within their being, the human condition indeed persists and is powerful. No matter what the material buffering of these conditions may be, much of humanity is still immersed within this darkness. Though those who are wealthy or well-off may insulate themselves with distractions, with material objects which they admire and feel a great connection with, well immersed within the distractions of the material world, this does not insulate them from the deleterious effects of a life lived in this superficial way and immersed within the human condition. Rather, they delay the inevitable, which usually comes when that individual passes into the spirit world and their true inner condition is revealed to themselves and to this new world. Many pass over into spirit ignorant, fearful, and to a degree, in darkness. It is very important that humanity realizes that this plane that they exist within at this moment has a powerful effect upon their future existence, an existence that goes on for a very long period of time, far greater than the short time upon this earth plane. So, it is important to choose thoughts, actions, and deeds that are in harmony with love, light, joy, and all things of God, for if one takes this road towards the light, then one will benefit greatly, not only in their material life, but in their future life in spirit. Considering the conditions that humanity lives within at this time, it is obvious that they must make a concerted effort, a conscious effort to do so. Without being aware of one's choices, one's responses, one's actions which come with each day, then they become lost within the human condition and are without true guidelines or standards from which to behave, to live a life in harmony and light. Yet, these guidelines are deep within every soul, this understanding of what is of light and harmony and what is not. But because humanity rides upon the surface of consciousness, it is very difficult for them to dive deeper and come to that place of soul awareness. Yet, it is possible. We in the celestial heavens continue to teach the way to do this. By receiving the great gift of divine love, so the avenues, the journey towards the soul become more powerful and the route obvious to the individual through prayer and receiving this gift from God. With the vast majority of individuals upon your planet, this truth and gift to the soul will not be known because humanity insists upon its delusions and way that is of their choosing and their desire. These things reflecting, as I have said, the human condition and the desire for material gratification. But they must know that their thoughts and actions are contributing to the pollution of your world, which is of thought and emotion and light and darkness, which proliferate and feed upon itself as these things are continually reinforced by human behavior. So my message to all is that your thoughts and your actions are powerful influences upon this world. In order to change this world from darkness to light, one must change one's inner being, mindful considerations, and actions from darkness to light. When one takes this effort seriously and finds their particular avenue in which to enact a desire to bring greater light into themselves and into the world, then the process of purification begins. The change starts to take hold within the consciousness of the individual, and a very different view of human life starts to emerge within that consciousness. The mind may indeed continue in these struggles, tedious and considerate in the world. This is what many who are striving towards light are engaged within, a mindful struggle that disciplines and motivates the individual. The patterns are changed by the concerted efforts of such individuals. Much is accomplished in this way. But through this process, there is a slow and considerate effort which takes much time to rectify all of the mindful patterns within the individual. It is slow and tedious, but can indeed be effective in replacing old patterns and thoughts that are not of light with those which are of light. As I say, many are engaged in this in a great variety of ways. Many avenues and approaches have been taken with those who are teaching and aware of those conditions within each individual which are harmful and not useful in life. So I applaud any individual who makes an effort to change their ways, to be in the light, to bring greater harmony to themselves and to their lives. This is much needed. But indeed, the more powerful way to transform one's condition is through receiving the great gift of divine love, which awakens the soul. In awakening the soul, there comes a great flow of wisdom, understanding, and love. All things that are in harmony with God's creation manifest with the accumulated power of the divine love within the soul. As this comes and emerges within the individual, so the mind in time acquiesces to the soulful condition that grows within and does not require those concerted mindful efforts to change patterns of thought. Though this may be applied as this transformation takes place, it is not an absolute requirement. Instead, one requires faith, trust, and focus upon the development and unfolding of the soul. This comes with prayerful effort. It comes with contemplation of the changes that are taking place from deep within. It comes with a concerted effort to express oneself in one's life in harmony with love and God's laws of love. In this way, the transformation, depending upon one's commitment to prayer and to receive these great gifts of love, can take place relatively swiftly, compared to the act of recalibrating the mind and the patterns of thought within the mind. It is often the case that the mind must catch up to the soul and the soul's progress, that one must allow that progress within the soul to emerge into the mind, and that this transformation may be accepted and utilized and expressed in harmony with what is truly a part of the individual's journey in life. So I will conclude my talk today, urging each individual to seek their own soul, to come to know that soul, to come to know their soul's relationship with God. In this way they will regain light, bring light, and flush out the darkness that resides within each individual within this world of yours, for each has a great challenge and few escape the influence of the human condition. But with concerted effort, either by training one's mind to think in terms of light and harmony and love, or by awakening one's soul, which in the response to this awakening, thoughts of light and love vanquish those aspects of fear and anger and judgment that are so much a part of the human condition. May you come to know the great freedom that comes with a soul awakened. May you come to know the great wisdom that will guide you with a soul awakened and the mind freed from its anxiety and fear. So this comes with God's blessings upon the soul. May you come to know this and feel this with great power and love and grace. May God bless you upon that journey. I am your brother and friend, Jesus, and I thank you for listening to my talk today. God bless you. God bless you, beloveds.